Now, now we're going. Hi, we're here
Okay.
with. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're here with Hakim Alston, who's known as the fighting monk in the original Mortal Kombat film, and
Absolutely.
also Jax in the Mortal Kombat live tour, along with his brother and some others.
Okay.
Let me be the first to say thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
Absolutely. I mean, you seem to be a super fan, so I mean, the honor
Yeah,
is mine. So thank you.
yeah. Um, well, the first question is, what was your um, well, um, what was it like doing the Mortal Kombat live tour?
The live tour was extremely, I should say, different type of experience. It's one of those experiences where it's hard to quantify it in terms of the uh, amount of joy that you actually received in regards to getting out in front of your fans. Actually in being able to get that live feedback. I mean, when you're normally doing a television show or a production or something along those lines, the feedback tends to come in kind of residual stages. So I mean, it was taxing. I mean, it was something that, again, that if you've ever, I don't envy rock bands and those individuals who go on tours, because it's at some point it does become a little taxing. But the rewards of actually touching your fans and actually getting the appreciation from your fans makes it worthwhile.
What was it like doing the fight scene with Robin Shou in the original Mortal Kombat film?
You know what? It was a phenomenal experience. It was one of those experiences that it was happening. Things were happening so fast. I would think it was in the middle of shooting. I believe it was Robin Hood at the time. We got the call from Pat, and so I actually flew back from Lithuania back into for the first shoot. We were in Thailand, of course, in Phuket. And that was absolutely, just breathtaking. I mean, it was a beautiful, country, and they took care of us down in Phuket. So the experience it was one of those, kind of opportunities that I was fortunate that came my way. I hopefully took advantage of it to the extent, but working with Pat, working with Robin, working with all the different individuals who were involved. It was a really rewarding and satisfying experience.
Yeah, and also I noticed I was watching the WMAC Masters season 1 where you fought with Ho Sung Pak. So
Hmm.
in a sense, you fought two versions of Liu Kang.
That is true. That is true. One, I was fortunate enough to become victorious. The other one, I got my soul snatched. But yes, both
Yeah,
experiences were extremely rewarding.
yeah, and you're not the only one that Shang Tsung said your soul is mine too.
Unfortunately,
Back in,
I won't be the last.
yeah, he actually called me back in 2011, and that was the last thing he said to me. He called my house and said that at the
That's
end of
very
the
cool.
conversation.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kerry, all those guys were, I mean,
Um,
the whole cast and crew it was a phenomenal, I guess, a phenomenal collection of individuals, different skill sets, different talents, different experiences that kind of came together, kind of understanding that we were doing something special. And everybody kind of took a little homage to that and really kind of poured themselves into it. So it was a really good experience with all parties involved.
uh, and did you know what you were filming when you were doing the Mortal Kombat film?
Yeah, I mean, everyone, we were kind of, uh, I want to say, encouraged to keep everything underneath the vest. So when we were filming it, I mean, we were quite aware, uh, of what we were trying to accomplish. I mean, from what Paul, who was the director, basically kind of conveyed to us. Because I actually did not go through a audition process. It was just one of those calls where I think Pat Johnson and Paul knew of my work and knew what I could have brought to the table. So I think, in essence, I mean, did we know? Yes. I mean, did we know the impact that it would have outside of that? We were hopeful, but we really didn't know the legs and the breadth that this would actually kind of capture, kind of captivate the audience in the world.
And still to this day, people say that it's the most faithful adaptation of a video game.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It just, yeah, it does. It doesn't cease to, I guess, amaze me that. I mean, I will travel the world. I was just, we were over in Dubai not too long ago, and I would have still individuals to this day will come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you're the guy from Mortal Kombat," blah blah blah. So yeah, the impact and the residual, the legs of that is, it's amazing.
Are you still in contact with the cast members?
Yeah, I mean, you realize, I mean, Robin and I, developed a great friendship because again, some backstory to the fight scene. It was something that, again, I guess behind the veil, that the day before we actually filmed the fight scene in Phuket, I actually had a motorcycle accident. We were driving. Basically, I was following one of the production buses to one of the different sets. I think Chris Casamassa, who was Scorpion, was filming. So I said, okay, it was before mine, so I was going to go basically, going to kind of check out the set, go take a look at this fight scene. But as I was following behind the bus, my motorcycle that I was driving hit an oil slick, and then the bike started to spin from underneath me. So I actually put my hand down to kind of keep myself from hitting the concrete in the pavement, and totally just tore every layer of skin almost off of my hand. And so the fight scene took place, of course, the very next day. Needless to say, they stopped people from riding motorcycles and renting cars after that. But we had to put new skin all over the hand. We had to actually put a stocking, kind of a skin tone stocking over the hand to kind of mask the new skin and some of the different, the bleeding that was actually happening. So we actually had to, we did some modifications and we did some things within the fight scenes. It was challenging, but at the same time, we were able to kind of, work through some different elements. So within that, I kind of said that to say that because of certain things that kind of took place, not just the rehearsing and getting to know each other, the bonding that we kind of established kind of carries through to this day. Chris, Pat, and all those guys were individuals that I knew prior to, and we stay in contact. Just saw Chris, about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and of course you know Chris from the WMAC Masters.
Correct.
And speaking about in regards to the Mortal Kombat live tour, do you have a copy of it on VHS?
You know what? I don't, unfortunately. I know that some individuals that are fans had a couple of different copies. I think Larry said Kazanoff, who was also behind the live tour as well, said anytime I want to get a copy of that, I can get a copy of it.
Yeah, because I know my friend and Mortal Kombat superfan, TabMod99, he's looking to do some videos in regards to it, and do a video talking about the lore of it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Even though I never went to the live tour because at the time that it was coming out, I was unfortunately grounded from Mortal Kombat for a while because I was acting like a martial artist, and my parents thought I was acting as a character from Mortal Kombat when I should have been focusing more on baseball at the time.
Understood.
Let's see here. Were you a fan of the games before you did the movie and live tour?
You know what? To answer that question, I mean, you would have to kind of understand back when Mortal Kombat the game first came out. I mean, it was one kind of so far ahead of its time. and such a kind of a game changer, for lack of a better term. Everyone doing that kind of genre, doing that era, was pretty much affected, or at least gravitated towards uh, the game itself. So, was I a great, I should say, proficient player? No, but I was a fan of the game, no doubt.
Mm, let's see here. Did you do your own stunts in the film?
Yeah, one of the I guess drawbacks from being 6'5" and 240 pounds, you don't really have a lot of stunt doubles out there. So one of the I guess drawbacks or benefits of filming and working with those guys was, yes, I did all my stunts.
Mm. What do you like most about being part of the Mortal Kombat franchise?
That's a great question. I think being aware of the impact that it has, that the global impact that it has had, and that it had, um, makes you kind of pause and step back and appreciate the impact of that. You appreciate the magnitude of that. So I think that one of the things that I appreciate most, or that I take away, is that being able to say you played a part in that, and you had some impact that is lasting, from a work standpoint, from an artist standpoint. You kind of, I sit back and I kind of, I don't want to say revel in that, but I at least take humility and humbled in the fact that I was able to actually participate and be a part of that.
Let's see. Let me see. What forms of martial arts have you studied?
I mean, my basic discipline is Taekwondo. I have studied, because I used to be a member of the United States, Loco team, so I've studied a little bit of Ishinoro, a little bit of Shotokan. With some of the Japanese bases in order to kind of tweak some of my fundamentals. But, of course, and then the sport of kickboxing, etc. So, but Taekwondo is the basis.
Let's see here. And yeah, that's basically all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks again for agreeing to do this interview.
Well, thank you for taking the time. And again, I'm humbled and honored. Thank you.